Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Slice of Gaming podcast, episode 145 for May 2nd, 2026. I'm your host, the Uncharted Wolf, and I am joined today by two very special guests. First and foremost, it's been a while. I gotta welcome my main man, Beef Hammer. How you doing,
Uh,
Beef?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Wolf?
I'm doing good. I'm doing chill. Not a lot of gaming news lately. I got a
Uh,
shit ton of small headlines, but I think it's that calm before the Summer Game Fest storm.
hmm
I'm also joined today by my other good friend, Bob. How you doing, Bob?
I'm doing good, Wolf. I know you wanted Rahu Kohli on today. Unfortunately, we share absolutely nothing in common. And I haven't started Soros yet, but I'm happy
Hey,
to be here.
it's okay. I don't think he likes me. I feel like he'd be anti me.
Mm,
Anyways, very interesting news week, as I said earlier. Not a lot, but a lot of small headlines, things to kind of yap about in their own little pockets. But, if you guys want to find us, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever your favorite podcasts are, we'll find them. Like the podcast, helps out a ton, and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming, all one word. With that, I do want to start with our icebreaker. Beef, I don't think you've been here for one of these. Basically,
no.
just a small little thing that we talk about. I ask a question, you guys just say what your answer to it is. We've done favorite comedy movies, stuff like that. I want to do a video game one this time, actually. And I think I want to start. Guys, what was the first game you remember playing?
Ooh,
You want
I
me to
know
go?
exactly what this is.
I do too, actually.
Oh,
Well,
perfect. Okay.
I guess I'll go
Let-
first. I
yeah,
I
go for it.
remember Halo pretty well, but I'm also which is funny to think because I was like 3 or 4 when it came out. But even
Yeah.
before that, I remember Super Mario Kart on the SNES at my grandmother's house because we'd all.
Oh, that's
I have like 7 cousins, like all who grew up in each other, so we would all go into the basement and play Super Mario Kart. So that's the easiest one. And then, so this is why, like, for me, I'm like, consoles are always weird because I'm like, all in my
mhm,
brain, the SNES and the Xbox are like right next to each other because my childhood was playing that and playing
yeah.
Halo. So I'm like, those timelines are messed up for me.
Did you get a PlayStation soon after so you could get all
No, I
three?
know. Sorry to break this to you, Wolf. We didn't have PlayStations growing up.
My God, I'm surrounded by Xbox.
I'm sorry.
I'm curious. It's funny because it's like so you start with the Super Nintendo with Super Mario Kart, and then you start
Right.
with Halo on the Xbox. What
hmm
what was the trajectory? Were you more Nintendo
I
or Xbox growing up?
I was pretty both, but we didn't have a GameCube. But
Oh, sick.
so it was mostly like I remember the SNES, but that, like I said, that was mostly at like my grandparents. But I remember playing it so much. I think, and like similarly, family had like an N64, so you had those. Skip the GameCube, but like obviously most my first consoles that I like remember because I was mostly on it was both the 360 and the Wii. So it's like okay, this is where and still today I'm like these are like mostly where I play, and so that's kind of where it started. If
I
I
love
have an
it.
excuse,
Can't go wrong with them.
I think the Xbox was mostly because I had there's 3 siblings, so I needed a 4 play console, and
Oh
like
yeah, that makes sense.
it was like yeah, so it's like there, yeah, it's like got the
It,
Xbox. I have no
and
idea otherwise why my brothers made them get an Xbox. That's
I
just what
mean,
I assume.
especially going into the 360 generation, it's like, well, that was the
hmm
way more
Oh
appealing
yeah,
device over the
yeah, it was
PS3. And
perfect.
I'm a PS3 defender through and through, but yeah, I mean, come on. So you went for Xbox One?
Mm. Oh yeah, initially, yeah. I got that was my first. I got the well, actually, this is the weird thing. I think I mentioned this to you. I had a the PS4 was my first home console, but we all got PSPs just randomly.
Oh,
So the
that's fun.
PSP is my first PlayStation, and we didn't even like get any of like the exclusives. We played literally like
I don't
Star
think
Wars
anyone played the
We played
exclusives on
like
PSP.
Battlefront 2, yeah, or like NBA Street on it. So I was like, it's
Yeah,
so
those things
weird
were
that we.
cheap too.
I know. I was like, but it was. Hey, that's why I'm like, I'm with people like, no, it seems so cool. Like, yeah, you had the DS, but everyone was like the PSP. That was cool. So of course
Hmm.
we all had PSPs.
Every DS kid wanted a PSP, and every
I know.
PSP kid wanted a DS. That's what I
Mhm.
kind of noticed. Where the DS was obviously superior, but even as a DS kid, I'm like,
Yeah.
dang, look at the graphics on the
When you're
PSP
older,
though.
you're like, who gives a shit? Because there's like not there's a few cool PSP games, but it's
There's
like the
cool ones,
DS.
yeah.
But it's like when you're a kid, it's like nah, that's like the grown up thing is the P. It looks cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like. got the mini discs and all that. So yeah, like you think you want it,
You
but
could
we
watch
didn't. But
movies on it.
yeah,
Just
but
like
then like you get like I don't want to play anything on this.
yeah, exactly. And then you would just hack it because it was so easy.
Yeah.
It's interesting, Beef. I'm kind of like the same as you, but I'm slightly different. Where you were Nintendo Xbox, I was Nintendo PlayStation.
Hmm.
So my first one was a DS, specifically a DS Lite. And my first two games were New Super Mario Brothers DS and Rayman DS, which, if you don't know, that's the port of Rayman 2 that was on the DS. And I fucking loved that game. I played that shit for hours upon hours, and I could never beat it because it was really hard, but I didn't care because I just loved Rayman. I thought it was fun as hell. It's kind of where my love of 3D platformers started, was on a DS, weirdly enough. And New Super Mario Brothers. Obviously, every kid played New Super Mario Brothers. There's not
Hmm.
much to say there.
Yeah, I
And
had
then
it.
I got like a PS2. And it was funny because I had a PS2 for like a good amount of the PS3 life cycle. So I didn't get a PS3 till like 2010, and I would just buy like bargain bin like PS2 games. And that's really was just the Jack games, the Ratchet games, and the Sly games. Grew up with all three. Love those guys. Love those games. And then there's always those random games you play. I don't know if you've ever heard of this game, Beef. Cake Mania on
No,
DS.
never.
That was a game my sister played. It was based off a website game. I don't even remember, but like it was a game on the web that you would play for free, and they just made a whole like DS game out of it. It was kind of the same as like Club Penguin and whatnot. But I played the shit out of that. It was technically my sister's copy, but that was basically my game with how much more I played it. And then yeah, from there it was just DS, PS2, and then eventually 3DS, PS3, and then PS4, Switch. It was always PlayStation, Nintendo for me. I did at one point get a 360, and then it got stolen. So like my 360
What can you
time
do
was
about that?
very short lived. What'd you say?
I was like, yeah, and like, what can you do about that? I never had that. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure my cousin stole out, like, or stole back out N64. I'm like, that was such a weird thing that I feel like
Yeah,
happened
it's
to
annoying.
everyone. It's like someone's just borrowed you, or borrowed and never gave it back.
Yeah. Oh, and also I forgot to mention, my sisters, because they grew up before me. Slightly older than me. They had an N64, and I would play the hell out of that, and I'd play like Pokemon Stadium and Super Mario 64 all the time on it. So that's kind of where my love of those two franchises came from as well. But yeah, mostly Nintendo and PlayStation for most of my life. Not really that much PC or
No, me
Xbox.
neither. I
Uh,
don't
and
play
then
PC.
Bob, what about you, man?
Um, yeah, the first game I can remember playing is Mickey's Racing Adventure on the Game Boy Color, which is
Got
an
me.
isometric racing game. And honestly, I've tried to go back and like emulate it. It's a hard game. Like it's actually a really hard isometric racer. I don't know how I did so well of it as a kid, but I'm kind of a gamer like that.
I've never
Um,
seen this before. That's
yeah,
crazy.
it's super old. I think it's like from '98 or something.
I thought you were gonna
Um,
say Mickey Speedway USA. That was the rare game on N64. So
no, yeah, because we didn't. I didn't. My first console was an Xbox, but for whatever reason, we had a game. I think my sister got a Game Boy, and I just ended up like playing a lot of things on it.
cool.
Um, and then yeah, I got an Xbox for Christmas, like I think in like 2003, from my uncle, and so then yeah, Halo became my first game on there. And then I kind of uh, I went back more onto Nintendo because I was a big Game Boy Advance and Game Boy Advance
Oh yeah.
SP person. Um, but it was also like very specific franchises, so like weirdly enough, like Donkey Kong Country, I experienced all through the Game Boy Advance, not the SNES, which is like blasphemy for most people. Um, because especially because of like how they mutilated the soundtrack on the Game Boy Advance chip. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, and then Pokemon, of course, played a ton of that on the Game Boy, and then I ended up getting a GameCube randomly, and would play like random things on there, but like never played Wind Waker, like I was playing like
Yeah.
Madden
None of the
02.
first parties.
Yeah, I was playing like Madden 02 and Backyard Baseball,
That was
and
on
like
GameCube.
yeah,
Wait, what?
I'm pretty sure.
Hang on, let me check.
Believe
And
so. Yeah.
and the Pokemon GameCube games on
Oh
there.
hell yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
have a really funny memory too of because I was late to the 360 because my mom was like, I don't want to buy this for you, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's fair. I'm a child.
That's fair. No kid has ever said, "Oh yeah, that's fair."
No, I mean, I'm sure I was pissed at the time. I was like, yeah, okay, I get it. But I distinctly remember going to Burger King and getting Sneak King
Oh my
from
god.
when they sold the 360 Burger King games and being so excited to play it. And I go home and I put it in my original Xbox and it wouldn't read. And then I had to that's when I learned about how there were new consoles. Like
Console exclusivity.
it's not just like one console for the rest of your life. And I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. They could totally make this game on the Xbox. Like, I can't believe these money grubbing Burger King Corporation
You
making this
literally
only
couldn't
for
have
the 360.
that couldn't have been a funnier game to have chosen to be
Right?
the way that you experienced that is
Hmm.
Sneak King.
Yep.
When you have was it like a gratifying moment when you finally got the 360? It's like finally I could play
Oh
Sneak.
yeah. Yeah. And then I was like, this is what I was waiting for.
This
That's
was
crazy.
awful.
Yeah. And yeah, so I had a 360 and then a Wii. I've gone through multiple 360s and learned how to fix the red ring of death like on an old school 15-year-old at this point YouTube video that's in 4:3 and filmed in some
That's
dude's
amazing.
garage. That video's still up too. Like I could probably go find it because it was the penny trick, not the towel trick.
Oh yeah, wasn't the penny trick discovered later?
I think so. But it was like you had to fully disassemble your Xbox because basically I was putting copper on the motherboard SoC to as an extra heat sink so that it wouldn't overheat.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I didn't know that. I was just gluing pennies onto this big X on the big green piece of rectangle and then putting it back in the Xbox. Like I didn't know why it worked, but I just knew it worked. Um,
I
and
I
then
always think about that, Bob, of they really the Xbox 360 was so good for so many people that even though it barely worked half the time, people didn't care because it's like fuck it, I'll send it back. I need to play this thing more. I
yeah.
ain't getting a PS3.
It's kind of crazy
I
what
don't mean the
we would
PS3
go
seven, but
through
it's
to
all
to fix
the
that or
full
play it or get a
lineup.
new
Yeah.
one. Yeah,
Would
it
never.
was
Kids these
it was
days have it
nuts.
Oh, I
easy.
can't hear you guys right now. Hang on.
Oh,
While we're waiting, Bob, I actually want to get to you.
Give
Fun
me one
enough, as
second.
someone who had a 360 at the start, I don't remember. I remember thinking like, why do I get this? I don't have much to play. Mostly because at our age, I was into Gears, I was into
Okay, there
sure.
we go. I'm
Oblivion.
back.
So all I remember is, oh,
We
I
can
got
hear
the
you, Wolf.
Xbox, and yeah, we're in Wolf. We're just finished. I just
Oh
finished
yeah,
it.
no, sorry about that.
I was like,
Just
I
with the mic.
obviously Xbox. I'm not Xbox. Halo 3 was once I was like, all right,
Yeah.
now this console started for me.
I think for me it was the the Burger King games. Uh I think back compat was also a big thing. Like I remember
Yeah, that
replaying
helped.
Halo 2 on the 360 and being like, this is sick. Um and then
Oh, I actually have a funny story about that. Um,
Project Gotham Racing 3, I think, was
Yeah, I
also
had.
a big launch one.
Yeah, I
so
had that.
you know how you had your back compat with Halo 2?
Hmm.
I thought PS3 was back compat with the
Oh no.
Oh,
PS2. But
yeah.
when I got my PS3, it was the PS3 Slim, which by the way, when I got my PS3, you want to know what it came with? Sports Champions.
Oh,
Because it
hell
was the
yeah.
PlayStation Move bundle. I fucking love that game. But anyways, I was like, okay, sweet, I'm gonna play my PS2 games through here. And it just didn't work. And I'm pretty sure at that point we already sold the PS2.
Oh
So I'm
no.
like,
Oh,
man,
no.
it
That'd
was
be
already
close.
gone. But I was just like, well, okay. Well, I guess I'm moving on to PS3 now. And I rebought all the games I really cared about through the collection, so I was fine.
I think the other crazy thing too with Xbox 360 back compat specifically, I don't know if it was because I wasn't connected to Xbox Live or what the process was, but I couldn't there were back compat updates. Like they were still
Mhm.
rolling out back compat updates throughout the life
Yeah.
cycle of the 360. And I don't remember how I was able to update it, I just remember showing my dad like, hey, uh I have these games on Xbox, but they won't work. But like they say there's like a thing I can do to like get him. He goes, okay, and he worked at like a software company, and he would just come home with like a burnt disc with like the update on it, and I would put it in, and it would just update and work. And I was like, looking back, I have no idea what he did, but it was kind of crazy that he was able to do that for me.
So wait, so like you didn't update through the internet, you updated through like discs.
Yeah, he like somehow figured out a way to download the update to a disk and burn it on there, and then I would just put the disk in when he got home, and it would just trigger the update and download the update from the disk, and then it would work like normal. Because I definitely didn't have Xbox Live at that point.
Okay. So one last question for you guys. I know we've been going long on this. What was the first online gaming experience you had?
Modern Warfare 2, because that was the first
Oh.
one that everyone was like, "Hey, you got to get online for this." So that's what made me like beg my parents to be like, "Hey, can I do this?"
So you just played
And
like Halo like campaign over and over again? Was that how it worked?
Well, I would do local, like me and my buddies would come over
Like
and play
LAN
like
parties
split
one.
screen Halo, but
mhm.
the first like Xbox Live online experience was Modern Warfare 2.
Gotcha.
'Cause mine was, yeah, Halo 3 was the online, and I'm like, it's so weird to think about, like, again, I'm like, I remember that distinctly different than, like, online now, it's like everyone talked on those
Mhm.
crappy mics,
Oh my
everyone was
god.
pretty nice, it's like it's weird to think about, like, now, it's like so people's like, "No, this was, like, a weird, like, thought to it was like everyone was like a kumbaya," and it was Halo 3, so everyone's, like, excited as hell to play it, so I remember me,
Yeah.
my 2 brothers on this is the weird thing too, because you want the best connection, we didn't even I don't even think we wired it, we just sat next to the router on the smallest TV that we could put there, and all just had a punch in playing this thing on, like, maybe a 20-inch screen, so,
Yeah.
like, not even the best, but I was like, "Man, that's just all I distinctly remember that when that came out. Because Halo 3 was on my birthday too, that was the funny thing. I was excited for that's if I ever think of a birthday game, I think of Halo 3.
Hell yeah.
My first online one. You guys are like the Call of Duty Halo. My first online game was Uncharted 3. I played the hell out of that game online.
Oh,
Um,
interesting.
and I played the shit out of the Uncharted 2 multiplayer as well. But I was like obsessed with it. I'm like, this is fucking peak. Way before I played COD. So
I'm
I mean, listen, man, Uncharted 4 still has multiplayer servers. Every time now and then I'm like, yeah, this is kind of fire though. I got to load it up real quick. But it's
that
funny that you mentioned the whole like everyone was on mics back then beef. I remember like you guys can relate to this when Overwatch like the first year.
Yeah.
If I like went into the lobby, it's like, yo, anybody got any mics? At least three or four people would pipe up. And it'd be like, yo, what's up?
mhm.
What's up?
Yep.
Nowadays, dude, fucking dead silent.
Yeah.
Everyone's in their Discord groups now or their online servers. It's like, damn, you are not getting anything from these people.
Well, the funny thing about that too is that what'll happen is I'll be in party chat with my buddies,
Uh-huh.
and I can still hear. I'm still in team chat in game. It's just the microphone is prioritizing the console party chat, and so I can listen to the team. I just
Oh no.
am not talking. But the funny thing is, if someone starts talking shit to me, I immediately like, hey guys, be right back, and like jump
Oh
into the
yeah.
team chat and start like flaming the guy back, and then like that's when you get me in. Is if you're talking shit, I will join team chat.
Dude, that's all people join for nowadays. It's just to talk shit. I had a game where
Mhm.
literally it was just like the tank was silent the whole game, and then middle he's just like, heals. Where are my heals? And it's like, buddy, I'm gonna fucking kill you in your sleep. I hate this motherfucker so
Or
much.
it's like, God, dude, our DPS is throwing like they don't even have a single kill, and I just pop on the mic and I'm like, hey, maybe if our tank was actually playing with the team, we'd be able to not die every 5 seconds.
I'll admit I'm that tank player. I'm like, bro, our DPS ain't doing shit. But hey, you know my ass be doing shit, all right? Just trust. Anyways, we've been on long enough for that topic, but I thought that was fun. A good understanding of like where our beginnings were. Let's get into the news. Like I said, there's not too many, but some things to definitely park on. First and foremost, Valve in the news are going to be releasing the Steam controller early. Andy Robinson put up a VGC article about this. Quote, this doesn't have RAM. Valve explains why Steam controller is releasing before Steam Machine. Steam controller is confirmed for May 4th. On Monday, Valve confirmed that the Steam controller will be available beginning May 4th at 10 a.m. PT in a lot of countries, priced at 99 USD. The release follows a lengthy wait for Valve's new hardware range, which also includes the Steam Frame VR headset, after the company confirmed in February that the rapidly increasing price of PC components had delayed its announcement of pricing and release details. Speaking in a new interview with Polygon, Valve hardware engineer Steve Cardinale explains why Valve has just now decided to release the Steam controller ahead of its hardware, stating that it saw little sense in holding back the peripheral while the components shortage continues. Quote, this doesn't have RAM in it, and it's not as complicated to start getting out the door for us. He said, we're ready for it. We wanted to build up quantities so that we could try and address everybody who wants one at launch, but it's possible that the demand for it far exceeds our expectations. So obviously, we know that the Steam controller has been suffering, or Steam controller, the Steam machine has been suffering and not been able to release due to these RAM constraints. I'm curious how you guys are feeling about just, in general, the decision to release the controller early, what this leads for the actual Steam machine when it does eventually come out, and I guess also just what you think about the controller in general and that price point.
Hmm. I guess I go first. I mean, for me, I don't know what I'm thinking about it. No, Bob, you're a little more the controller freak. I'm like, I don't know what I'm thinking about because most of my PC gaming is the Steam Deck already. So I'm like, okay, I'm a little sold on like how this works because it's very similar to the Steam Deck. But even so, maybe if I played more on PC, I'd be into it. But I'm also, I don't know. For me, I'm like, so like, who is this for? I think there is gonna be like plenty of people who like it, but there's always in my mind like how like the old Steam machine and like Steam controller didn't work out. It's like, is this gonna be different? I think they might have a little help in that like now there's so many people with the Steam Deck who have like the like bindings already done, so maybe that'll help. But I don't know. I'm very unsure how this is gonna work out, but it seems like people who actually have it like it. So maybe I don't need to have as many doubts as I think I do.
Yeah, it's the actual controller seems to be well liked. I mean, they did release it early for press, and like just on the offset, it does look right. It does look like a comfortable enough controller. The only thing, man, those touchpads look really awkward to me, and I'm
I
curious
know. I don't
how.
believe him.
Yeah, I'm curious how much it's gonna feel like when we actually get our hands. This could be beef. This is a crazy example. This could be like the Wii U, where you look at it like this monstrosity, and then you hold it. It's like it's actually pretty comfortable.
Mhm.
Weirdly enough.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, so we'll see.
But
When is it? Did they give a date yet? I may have
yeah,
Yeah,
May
missed
it's
that.
4th.
May
that's
4th. Okay.
what, Monday?
Yeah, May 4th. So
Oh
Monday for
crap.
us when we're recording. But Bob, how are you feeling about this thing?
Um, yeah, as far as the actual controller is concerned, I thought it was very interesting listening to reviews because, and I had mentioned this in the Discord, I think on Friday or whenever the reviews dropped, but it felt weirdly like bought and paid for reviews. Obviously, I don't think we're in that world anymore, and the people I heard reviewing it, I do genuinely respect their opinions and don't think that they would do something like that. But it was so weird how like because yeah, I am a bit of a controller freak. I have a bunch of third party controllers. I'm always looking for like the latest and greatest, and I very much am against buying OEM controllers unless they're sick limited edition ones. Shout out for Forza Horizon 6. Me and Beef, we got our controllers
Yeah,
You
we
waiting
guys
for
did.
bought
us.
that thing?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Beef, did you buy the stand?
No, I don't think I'm gonna need the what is the point of the stand anyways? Does
It
it
looks cool.
okay, that's all you have.
and
No,
and it and it recharges you can get it with like a rechargeable battery in there, and so it'll recharge it too, I
speak
think.
I do need a new rechargeable battery. Mine all I like draining, so off topic, but yeah, we do have the
The
I
fucking
can't complain. I
Forza.
was like,
That thing is
this is
disgusting.
uh to be the only reason it's not even the style. I actually kind of do like how at least because I have the Forza 5, like the
Yep.
back feels. If that's what I need, I'm like that's the
Yeah,
only reason.
For whatever reason, the grip on the Forza Horizon 5 controller is like the best grip I've
It's like
ever felt.
it's like a cost. I think it is a cost. It's like supposed to be a cost steering wheel. I'm like, this is actually amazing.
Yeah,
But
it's actually really comfy.
that,
Anyway, but
well,
yeah,
I'll
that
go like touching on just to go like because I think we're both like that's like $100. That's why I'm like I'm making excuse, so I'm like that's why I'll spend 100 on that. But I'm also like a quote unquote normal control like this. I'm wondering how much people are gonna be like, oh yeah, just $100 when I get like a dual sense or an Xbox control for like 70.
yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at with at least for the pricing. It's interesting because the what is it? The Xbox controller is somewhere between $60. I think somewhere more expensive, somewhere
Uh,
less, depending on
It
what you get.
depends, yeah.
The DualSense, I want to say is like 70 or 75. I can't remember off the top of my head. And
It's
then
like 80 now, I think. I think
oh,
they
okay.
the prices.
And then Nintendo, it's like, all right, listen, we know they are overpricing their stuff, so it's like I
That's
almost
80 as well.
what for Nintendo? I thought Switch 2 Pro controller is like 90 or 95.
No, no. Wait,
Is
is
it
it?
80? I think
Yes,
it's like I think it's
it's
85 because it went up like that was the one thing I think that went up like before releases. My
It's
past.
84.99 to
Okay.
89.99, but it seems like
yeah
it's
on Nintendo it's 89.99.
Oh, it is? That's
Mm-hmm.
disgusting.
nice. The DualSense
That's why I
Pro.
didn't buy it. I wanted it, but I didn't buy it because
Oh,
again,
you
that
know
was
I had
already
to
a
buy. Come on,
that
man.
that was I know, and that's why I'm like that was already a limit for me. That's why I'm like, I wonder if 100's even more of a limit for people.
Yeah, DualSense is 75 to 80,
Okay.
Yeah.
depending on if you get a special edition or not.
So yeah, so the pricing is like it is steep and yes, you have the touchpads. I think those are great. You have TMR joysticks, which are the best version of a joystick that won't get stick drift. So I think that's great. It has 4 back buttons. I think that's great. But then there's just like weird things that people have been hyping up about this controller that other controller manufacturers are doing for a much cheaper price, and people are acting like Steam is like innovating here. And that's where I'm like, all right, guys, like Steam didn't invent a lot of what's going into this feature into the controller because like they're talking about like yeah I the puck, there's been a lot of talk about the puck where you can like, obviously you can charge it and then once you pull it out, it like wakes up the computer and it automatically just connects and goes. That's great. 8-bit
Wait,
though,
really?
yes.
That's like
Um,
in all the controllers.
that's what I'm saying. Like it's very much a thing now where like 8-bit games are was it Vader, I want to say, or Fly Digi, like they all have like actual stands like we were just talking about with the Forza controllers where you plug it in and the adapter goes into the computer and then once you take it out it turns on, connects, and is like totally fine and you can use it across the room and anything. And the worst part about the puck for the Steam controller is it's a little puck on a cable. Like it's constantly flopping around. There's no like piece underneath to like stick it to something and have it like stay there. So honestly, I find that to be more annoying. Um, and so there's just these odd little ends and bits about it where, and I think that the most frustrating thing is you have to have Steam on to work with it. It doesn't work completely in other apps. So like Epic Game Store, Xbox is what I'm mainly concerned about. If Steam is not open, it will not work to its full functionality, which I get it. It makes sense. It's a Steam controller, but like unless you're using a Steam machine, like PC is going to be what most people are using these for because your Steam machine isn't out yet. And so it like really doesn't make sense how good it is in some places and how bad it is in other places because I think this is the first time I've ever seen a controller with 4 back buttons but no trigger stops, like for the hairpin triggers. Like
Mm.
just weird choices like that where I think it'll be good. I think the touchpads are a great addition, and I'm still kind of I think it looks comfortable. I don't doubt the symmetrical sticks because they're higher up and that's where your thumbs naturally sit. I just
Oh, okay. Now you're
no,
fine with them.
yes, because the DualSense is still like after playing through Returnal, I'm like, oh right, I still hate the DualSense.
It's a skill. Did you rate Returnal lower because of the DualSense controller?
No, because I thought the other features of the DualSense saved it from its dog shit stick placement. But
Steve, he's
um
rage baiting me. He's rage baiting me. I still remember Astrobot dropping in
uh-huh.
all those points because of
Uh-huh.
the DualSense. Oh my
Yep,
god, he's
I mean
rage
it
baiting.
didn't feel good on the dual on yeah,
It's
Astrobot
that
didn't feel
fucking
good on the
monkey
DualSense
lion
either.
meme, bro. I'm the fucking lion. You're pissing me off, and you're acting all smug.
But either way, I mean, yeah. Steam controller for me is a mixed bag. I'll be interested to see how more people think about it and the price. But as far as like the suite of hardware that Valve is releasing, um, it is interesting that they're like, hey, well, we don't need RAM for this, so let's just get it out because we need to start making some money somewhere on something. And this just seemed like a good choice for that. So um, hopefully we hear more news on that soon. But I truly, I mean, Valve has no reason to rush into any of this. So who knows how long we're going to wait for the other products.
It's so funny, Bob. You're so into like all of this controller stuff in a way that way more than me. Because you're talking about like, oh yeah, the specific sticks for this, and then you have the hair trigger pin, all that. I'm like, ooh, it feel comfy. So I'm like curious how if I'm really in the market for something like this. Probably not. I look at myself to use DualSense instead
Hmm.
if I were to get the Steam machine, which I'm still very interested in. All comes down to that price. But again, I mean, it's like you said, Bob. I don't know where that console's gonna go. Like that Steam machine pricing is such a question in the air that everyone's having. Is it gonna be priced like a console? Or is it going to be priced like a PC? And I mean, I say priced like a console. The consoles are now priced like PCs, so really, it's just like, is it going to be? What is its range really? I'm very curious to see like when we eventually do get details on it, which I have to imagine sometime in the summer, because it feels like that's the latest you can go without delaying it completely into the next year.
I would hope so.
Well, we'll see. Hopefully, we see Valve yet again. Um, Next story is from Sony, actually. This is an interesting one. So first and foremost, Culture Crave brings this up, and this happened like earlier in the week. Any PlayStation game purchased digitally after March's system update will reportedly now require an internet connection once every 30 days to validate the license. If the console stays offline longer than that, the games will not launch until you reconnect. And he also went ahead and linked a video from Spawnwave, who kind of tested this feature, specifically showing that if he were to buy a game after April, like during April, I think he used Saint Slayer as his example. He was not able to authenticate because he removed the CMOS battery. So the PS5 thought it was in 2011, which is very funny if you watch the video. But it's outside of the 30-day window. And so it would theoretically need to re authenticate the license, meaning that if he were to go offline for 30 days, then he would lose his connection and not be able to validate that he owns the license for the game and thus not play the game. That was worrying, obviously, for a lot of reasons. And we went ahead and got a statement from Sony just a few days later. Quote from Warrior64, Sony has provided a statement to GameStop regarding the PSN license check. Quote, players can continue to access and play their purchased games as usual. A one-time online check is required to confirm the game's license, after which no further check-ins are required. So, looking at this, it looked like it was very much a glitch, at least from what I can assume. It was either a glitch or, if you want to get pessimistic, it was them testing out to see if they could pull it off. I wonder if that's the case. I don't know. I can't read Sony's mind, but it seems like it's something that's reverted. It's not an issue anymore. It's very much the same way Steam does it, where it's like you have to load up the game at least once to be able to validate, like, yes, you do own the game, but like now you don't have to worry about regular check-ins, aka DRM. Like, I saw Don Matrix showing up on my timeline quite a bit during this whole saga, but it seems like at the very least it's not something to worry about. But it did bring up this question of like DRM and this whole forced check-in thing. is this something that we're gonna eventually have to be forced to deal with? And I'm curious how you guys are feeling. I'll start with you, Bob.
Um, yeah, I did want to comment a little bit on the end result because I think this is confirmed why they changed it. I haven't seen an official confirmation because
Oh yeah, I
obviously
wanted to bring
Sony
this up too.
Sony
I
for
forgot.
whatever reason isn't it just isn't like fully communicating on this for some reason. But it,
Well,
it
that's the
seems
usual
like
from them.
it seems like for whatever reason there was an exploit recently with Sony's new return policy where essentially you could buy a game, return it. They were somehow able to keep the license from that returned product, and then
Yeah,
they could activate the license after it was returned and
the game
essentially.
would go offline, and basically they like return the game, but because they're not on, like they're not online, they're fully offline. They can't check in to check if you like return the game, quote unquote.
Yeah, it something like that to basically where they were, pretty much going fully around the system and playing games for free. And I think that's why Sony initiated this. And I think the way it works now is that because there was a change. It's not that anything was reverted. It's just that now when you buy a game, there's a second DRM check after the return window for 30 days. And so after that
Yeah, it's
return
60, yeah.
window, you have to do a second DRM check. And then if that's good, then you're good because they basically don't want you abusing that return window. Um, and after that, everything's okay. So I think they just added a second
Yeah, okay,
checkpoint in
you're right.
there, but because it hasn't been 30 days, we haven't been able to actually test that part yet. And that's why it came up because it came up out of nowhere and no one really knew what was going on. So there was just certain theories in place. But yes, as far as I can understand, that's why they initiated it, and that's what the policy is going forward. Which, at the end of the day, I think is totally fine. I think that is
Yeah,
a
that's
fair.
whatever.
Right, it's still a one-time thing technically. It's not a periodical check-in. It's a vary between a certain number of days. It'll cause a little bit of issues for people who can't always be online, but I think for the most part, for most people, for most use case scenarios, it's gonna be okay. And
It's 30
I
days from purchase. That's not a big deal in my eyes because
right,
it's like you just bought the game. Like you should still be somewhere online at that point.
right. So, I'm okay with that. I mean, Sony took 5 days to communicate. And it's like, guys,
God bless
okay,
them.
like, why on earth, like, people, like you said, well, people are bringing up Don Matrick. Like, you couldn't put out a small PS blog update to be like, hey, we're just adding this so that, people can, blah blah blah. It's like a paragraph at most worth of
Mhm.
context that would have saved them from this entire fiasco. But they never put out a update when they changed the Steam verifications for PlayStation games. So it's like they clearly just don't care and are letting people figure it out on their own, which is fine.
Yeah,
Whatever, do what you want. It's just like this could have been avoided. Like this all could have been
100%.
avoided.
Yeah, and people know I hate DRM. I hate this online check-in bullshit. I think it's just you shouldn't allow them to have that much control over your games. Even though at the end of the day, digital, you are just renting a license at the end of the day. This is why I do still fight very hard for physical, and I want physical to always exist because I don't like them having full control over every type of game I buy. So I think this is overall a at least an understandable blow. I get just the whole refund window thing, like you said, Bob. Like I I can't imagine being that broke. Like doing that, I'm like, okay, man. At that point, just pirate. Like it's just like it's a weird look to me. Um, but in general, yeah, this is overall like seems to have like sorted itself out at the very least. Beef, did you have any lingering thoughts on this?
Not, I mean, you guys said most of it. Well, it is funny, like, because when we initially thought was when damn, am I gonna become like Jack and Wolf? I'm like, well, I'm like, if this, because if it was a 30 days, like, even though I never suspect that I'm gonna have that an issue of being offline for like to be able to check in, it's like I would, and maybe it's easier because it's not my main console. I would be buying most of my PS5 games like physically if that ever like
Yeah.
became like that. It's like, yeah, I definitely would. It's just because, yeah, like you say, it really is like you basically. It's even more like, yeah, you don't own it. So that's kind of why I'm like, I do think it would have been, which is also getting to where I was like, why would they have made that change? Which
Yeah,
now it
exactly. It
makes
was just confusing. It was like,
now, yeah,
there's
that's
no way.
mostly why I was like, this doesn't. It was like with the new system, like, okay, it's understandable. Even though I am also even before I was like, how bad of a problem is this that you needed to do this? How many people are abusing this?
Mhm.
But I was like, yeah, like even before I was like, why would it need to be that change? Like to make on that because it did just seem like bad PR. And now it's like people are like, okay, it's almost same old. But if they ever did go for every 30, it's like this just seems like bad PR. I don't know how much it would hurt them, but
And the
that's
people
why I'm
defending
like you were
it,
saying, I hope that's it definitely at
yeah,
least for me is like I hope it never does become like that.
nah, it's just that it's the case of like, I see people defending it too, where it's just like, oh, when are you not off on the internet? You're always online. It's like,
Hmm.
okay, sure, but what if the internet goes out? And like in the case of like, oh, it's every 30 days, it's like, okay, what if you give these companies an inch, they're gonna take a mile. Because
Hmm.
then it's like, okay, you know what? Now you have to always be online. We need to always make sure you're online to make sure we're authenticating. It's like, well,
I
you always have internet. It's
I
like, no,
completely
I don't.
forgot until this. People had to remind me. It was like Xbox did one. It was like every 24 hours was the Xbox One thing. I was like, that was. I
Yeah.
was like, I was like, it was. I don't remember that, but that
And
is
you see
insane.
people today going back like they should have stuck with that. It's like, why? What benefit does that
Yeah.
give you guys? It's this whole weird thing about physical digital that makes digital dudes like so like anti-consumer all of a sudden. It's like, I don't think you guys understand why we like physical. It's just, I don't know, man. It's frustrating, but hey, you know what? At the end of the day, at least this didn't turn into a bigger thing.
Mhm.
Moving on, some sad news. Nikon, they were in the news recently, but they're back yet again. Nikon's collapse claims first closure as RPG studio confirm it no longer exists. Greedfall developer Spiders has shut down. Andy Robinson at VGC wrote this up. The French developer is the first official casualty of a parent company Nikon's insolvency filing earlier this year, which left it battling creditors after its majority shareholder, Big Ben Entertainment Interactive, failed to make a partial repayment on a bond loan. In a message posted on social media, Spider said that after, quote, a long period without clear answers, the company as a whole no longer exists. The final DLC for Greedfall, The Dying World, will be released via Nacon, it's claimed. Quote, we're going to cut straight to the chase so you're not left wondering. After a long period without clear answers, we have received confirmation that Spiders is being liquidated. What does it mean? This means that the company as a whole no longer exists. We'll cease our functions immediately. The planned DLC will release via Nacon, and then, well, that's it. We're sorry that has come to this, and we'd like to thank each and every one of you for your support over the years. If you have any questions or run into issues with your game, please contact Nacon directly, as we'll no longer be able to reply. That last statement, man, that's brutal. It's just like, hey, if you have any problems, we do not exist anymore. We can't help you. I'm not gonna act like I was like a huge Spiders fanboy. I never played Greedfall or God, what else did they make? Did they do
Mm.
Vampire or was that Don't Nod? I always forget.
That was Donut. They made something. I can look it up. They made something. People like, but Steel Rising, I think,
Steel Rising,
which
yeah,
was
they
like
do.
a Dark Souls kind of like. I think I don't think I played, but I think some people liked
No,
it.
you're right. Yeah, Steel Rising. I thought people were like kind of cool on it, but still like liked Bound by Flame, the Technomancer. But their big thing was Greedfall for sure. Uh, and they were a very double A studio, which I love. So to see them go is pretty unfortunate, man. I very talented developer. Clearly, people really love them, but it just seems like they weren't able to make the money that they needed to be able to stick around. And obviously, Nacon's insolvency did not help at all. So yeah, rest in peace, Nacon. I don't know if you or not Nacon, Spiders. I don't know if you guys have anything more to say about them.
Mm. Not too bad. I did not know they were a company. They were like 25 years old. I did not realize
Yeah,
that
they're pretty
because I
old.
only knew them from Greedfall.
Yeah, I don't know. With them, it was like uh Greedfall 2. Just I remember being
Yeah, it
excited
didn't
for
work out.
that, and then its whole rollout and launch. Like that game came out, and it just people were
Nobody
excited.
talks about it.
Some people liked even though Greedfall was rough around the edges, it had some cool ideas for an RPG, and then the sequel just completely butchered every and anything to do with that game originally. And so, yeah, it just kind of felt like, not that the writing was on the wall, but like, I'm also not surprised by this based on how they just butchered that game.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's just not surprising, but it's also like, damn, that sucks.
Yeah.
Moving on to our next story. This is a quick one. Insomniac's Venom game is not canceled, according to Bloomberg's Jason Schreier. Okami Games put this, by the way. Verified game developer also says it was being discussed at GDC 2026 last month. I thought I was very bullish on this, and I feel like I've said this on the podcast for a while. I was like, this game is 1,000% canceled, especially because it was supposed to release before Wolverine. It seems like it's just going through some big development issues, clearly enough, and also, of course, the passing away of the Venom voice actor Jason Todd, or not Jason Todd,
Tony Todd.
Tony Todd?
Tony Todd. Pretty sure, yeah. I'm sorry, I don't know names, but
No,
yeah,
yeah.
Tony Todd passed away, which obviously very sad. Very very talented voice actor. And I thought that would have like affected the game's development to the point where they probably would have had to cancel it. But it seems like they're still going through with it. Apparently, this was all spurred on because the Miles Morales voice actor thought it was canceled. But it's about like, okay, who do you believe, the Miles Morales voice actor or Jason Schreier? And I feel like Jason Schreier would be in the know more. But we just don't know what this game is or when it'll come out. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on this though.
I mean, like you, I just assumed it was canceled because I remember from the leak it was supposed to be before Wolverine. So I don't know if I'm even excited. I mean, it's an Insomniac game, so I would still be excited for it. But yeah,
Mhm.
like I guess I have no idea what I'm thinking for like what's gonna come out. I guess we don't really know much what Insomniac's gonna do after Wolverine. So I guess
We
yeah,
do.
like
Technically, we do.
well, I mean yeah, like I can't remember the leaks though. I'm like I remember it's mostly more
I mean, do you
Marvel. I
want me
just
to
can't
say
remember.
it?
Check if you wanna. Yeah. What
It
was
was.
it?
I think it was X Men.
Yes.
X
Oh,
Men, and
okay.
then they were
Which
gonna
makes
do.
sense.
It was like a Ratchet and Clank game in like 2029, and then a new IP around like early
Is there
2030s.
not a new Spider-Man? Was there not a new
Spider-Man
Spider-Man?
3 was also in the leaks.
Okay,
Yeah,
I was like, that's kind of why I would have assumed is
there
like
was
also
that.
next.
There was one part of the leak where they were debating if they want to split Spider-Man 3 in half, which was
Mm,
fucking crazy. That'd be insane if they pulled that. But yeah, it seems like it's Spider-Man 3, X-Men, and then Ratchet, and then new IP. That's kind of the current look of things. Which, hey, kind of lame that they're basically just a Marvel studio now, but hey, whatever. Uh, yeah, I'm kind of with you, Beef, where it's just like, I don't know what it's going to be, or like how I'm going to get a whole game out of Venom as a character. I feel like this is just gonna like almost come and go, in my opinion, especially
maybe.
because it seems to have gone through some
I think that's
trouble
why
development.
we all assumed it was just canceled because it was like you
Yeah,
just assumed it was like I remember in Spider-Man 2 there's that section you play as, which I think is but then
yeah,
it's
great
people
moment.
and people were like I guess if it's, smallish like Miles Morales, that's gonna
That
work,
I
but
expected it to be DLC,
that's kind
so
of
like
oh yeah, there
I
was
feel like it would
that
have made sense.
rumor, and that's like, well, if it's a Miles Morales, then it would come out like yeah before, and so maybe that's why. But I don't know. I mean, I guess it could work, but I mean, I have faith in Insomniac, so it's just kind of like I don't
Mhm.
know. There's not much else I guess we can think about other than like, well, we'll have to wait and see.
We will see. Moving into our next story is a quick one as well. Okami Games has this yet again. Blood of Dawn Walker releases September 2nd on PS5, Xbox, and PC. Dark fantasy vampire RPG, the first chapter of a new saga developed by Rebel Wolves, a studio comprised of former Witcher 3 veterans from CD Projekt Red, which I think included in that is the director of Witcher 3. Uh, a game that I know has been very much hyped by a good number of people because there's a lot of Witcher 3 fans out there. I'm not one of them, but I definitely look at the trailer. It has a cool vibe to it. I like vampires. I'm curious about this game. My only thing is, let's get that combat underway. Let's make that combat work because God knows the Witcher 3 combat system is not one that I'm a big fan of. But if they can have a good combat system combined with a lot of choice and consequence, I think this could be a sleeper hit for the year. How are you guys feeling about this?
I'm honestly looking forward to it. Now, granted, the benevolent and always fortuitous AI drafted this for my fantasy team this
Oh,
year, so
nice,
I
yeah.
kind of needed it to be a good game. But every time I look at it, I seem impressed. I
That's
know
cool.
the PC specs came out recently, and everyone's like, "Oh, it's unoptimized," and I'm like, yeah, and like it's a small dev. Like
The
this is
Western RPG guys, they're always unoptimized.
like, come on. But everything I've seen so far looks really good. This studio has a huge pedigree. And I think I just remember that trailer, just kind of like the story they're trying to tell seems really, really interesting. And a lot of people seem to be hyped on it. So um, I'm definitely keeping a very close eye on this one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I'm similar. Like I'm keeping an eye on it because I don't know too. I probably even know less about it other than yeah, like The Witcher 3 devs. So I'm just like, okay, I always take a Western RPG, and now that has a date this year. I mean, delays can happen, but it makes it feel a little more real. So yeah, now I'm definitely looking at it, and will hopefully if it reviews well, I probably will end up playing it.
So I want to point out. So this is September 2nd. On September 8th is My Beloved Phantom Blade Zero, and then
Uh,
on September 15th
I
is someone's beloved Marvel's Wolverine.
mhm.
September's stacking up.
I know. I noticed that too while I was making my list. I was like, wait a minute, Fanblade Zero and like Wolverine are like 4 days or like a week apart. That's kind of insane. So yeah, now September's.
Mhm.
I guess it's good. I'm looking. I haven't had too much earlier this year, but now my maybe the second half of the year is gonna be too packed for me.
Yeah, I definitely noticed. I was like very low on games up until like April, and then it's like, damn,
Hmm.
there's just like 80 games I'm playing right now that I want to get to. Moving into our next story, we got Nate the Hate. Stealth 40K puts this out. Nate the Hate says he has zero debate or zero doubts that a new Star Fox game will be announced soon. Quote, I have zero doubt in the Star Fox project. Hell, VGC and a French journalist have also spoken about the game and back the info of it coming in June. If it doesn't get revealed this month as planned, which this was in April when he said this, it simply means Nintendo made a marketing pivot and adjusted the timeline a touch. I enjoy seeing the revisionist history around Splatoon Raiders when you had people doubting it would even release this year just days before I dropped this episode. Uh, and he specifically said in that episode, Splatoon Raiders was set for the summer, which it currently is. Um, Definitely, I saw a lot of people on Nate about this. It's like, where's Star Fox? It was supposed to be released this month or revealed this month. Uh, I Okay, this is a crazy thing. I wouldn't doubt Nintendo delayed the announcement. It's just
Mm.
because of that. Because it was picking up a lot of traction. And maybe that's like thinking way too much into it. But it's like Nintendo are extraordinarily petty. We have seen that in the past. So I wouldn't doubt that. There is also a thing to note. Apparently, the French journalist Nate's mentioning, he also specified that it's going to be the multiplayer game this year, and then the single player one is next year. Uh, I'm curious what that entails. I wonder if that's like Star Fox 99 or something. Probably closer to just like maybe like a straight up Star Fox multiplayer game. We'll see. I do still believe in this game. I still think it's gonna come out. How you guys thinking about this whole like Star Fox saga?
I mean, for me, it's I'm also with him. Like, definitely real. Of course, like especially after the movie, of course it's real. I mean, I don't know what with Nintendo now, especially with like they are seriously going to announce dates for stuff on the freaking app. I don't even think I've downloaded the Nintendo Today app with like they did it
Oh,
for
you bum.
Splatoon. Wasn't the Yoshi one like similar? Like it's
Yeah,
just gonna
they
be
were all revealed through the
it's
Nintendo
like
Today
it's just
app.
a trailer in the app. I'm like, yes, okay, you're not so I might not even have to wait for a direct in June for this thing to come out.
Dude, I was
So,
saying this beef. It's like, man, are they really just done with directs at this point? This is getting weird because it's like you could have had a direct now. Like
oh
all of
yeah,
this
no,
stuff could have been announced in one direct. So I don't know why they're just Nintendo.
uh, which is like, I guess fine. I guess I don't really care, but it definitely feels like it makes these games feel like I don't know what to expect from Splatoon Raiders when all
It
I'm
I feel like if you bunch them in a direct, it just feels more exciting.
It does, yes. Well, I'm
Right?
like, I guess it's fine, but I'm
It's
like,
like
I don't know what to think about. Like, I'm not thinking too much about like Splatoon Raiders still,
I
or
would have I would have hyped up Yoshi and the Mysterious Book more if it was in a
yeah.
direct. I would have been like, "Oh, okay, guys, that looks pretty good.
But
That
also,
like, has a good art style."
I was about to ask, like, do we expect like one this month? Because I needed. I mostly.
I
I've
I
been
don't think
starting to
it's
really.
coming this month,
I wish I've been really craving this Fire Emblem game now. Like, it's become
dude. Same.
like I was like maybe I could play just Raid. Is it? I don't know if it's Radiant
Path of
Dawn or
Radiance
Path of
for the
Radiance. And I
GameCube.
was
Yeah,
like, I could just play that, but I don't want to burn myself out on because I definitely can do that. So,
it's tough beef because I feel like they can make a direct right now
mhm,
because they still have Ocarina of Time remake, they still have Star Fox, they still have as you said Fire Emblem Date. Like you have your big thing in the start of the direct, you have your big thing at the end of the direct. You have a lot of stuff in between, probably some third party stuff. You can make a more than passable direct. I don't know why they aren't. And I
it's
wonder
fun.
if it's they like sticking to that strict like one in February, one in June, one in September, but also they skipped the February one and they
Mhm.
did a partner showcase. So I just sit here, I'm just like, maybe they just reveal all this stuff through their own channels, or they wait till June, not even revealing, like they reveal the Star Fox game through like Nintendo Today, and then we get to June, we get our direct then, and it's like, why didn't you just do it in May at that point? And obviously, marketing cycles stuff isn't ready yet, but I don't know. I feel like I'm in like a really annoyed spot with Nintendo where I'm like, you guys can talk a little bit. Like, I get your whole thing is like not talking, but like, get us excited for this thing I spent $500 on.
Yeah.
That's all I ask for.
It's funny that's only a month away from the like June like SGF stuff, but
Yeah,
yeah,
it's crazy.
it still feels like it's like they're gonna wait a month to do if you to the next direct, really.
Yeah, that's Nintendo for you. We will see. Hopefully, I see it soon because I'm excited for that Star Fox game. Even if it is just multiplayer, I'm like, bro, I want to shit on some kids online in Star Fox. Moving on to our next story. This is the last one of our like real stories. Star Wars Galactic Racer uh, kind of got a leaked release date. Releases on October 6th, 2026, according to Steam. Deluxe edition contents revealed. The steelbook included with the physical purchase. This is just a quick hype check. Bob, I know you're really excited for this game.
Buddy, does this game have some fucking juice behind it? Every single time they show something, I am getting so excited. Also, happy birthday to me.
Oh, is this here on your birthday?
Not exactly, but it's like 2 days after, so I'll take it.
I'll take it. Yeah, honestly, fair. It reminded me of when Doom: The Dark Ages came out right on my birthday, and I'm like, oh, happy birthday to me! Yay! Beef, how about you? Are you excited for this game?
Die Bob, not really. It's not on my radar. It's I'm sorry. Does that
I'm
have a
the same, Bob,
price
but I
yet?
respect it. I don't know actually.
That's kind of the one
Might have
thing
been
where I'm
part
like,
of the
Wait,
maybe.
what was the
A,
question?
does that have a
if it has
price
a price.
yet?
I think it's
See,
70.
I need that's gotta be for 70. Yeah, I need it needs to have
60.
some.
It's 60.
Okay, it still needs to have some sauce to it, but
You should have
I
said
should
beef. If
I
it's
should.
70, I gotta be able to get out of the pod racer.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
I'm just kidding. It
yeah.
looks really good. I'll definitely give you that, Bob.
Yeah, I mean the fidelity
It's
on it looks
gorgeous.
incredible. And
I,
like just the way they're like moving around and everything. I
I
know
think this is
some
a
people.
sleeper hit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
really like, and you know, if it's got like the burnout qualities to it, I really do think like this could have some serious juice to it.
Hmm. I think
Yeah.
it's mostly I'm just picturing this as like almost a sequel, even though like yeah, way you're saying it's like it's more than just uh what the N64 and it's just
Oh,
episode one
episode one
racer.
racer, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like it's probably more than that, but I'm just so thinking, oh, it's just episode one racer again. We'll see.
Well, they definitely have. I mean, and to Wolf's point, there, the trailer before this, the guy literally gets out of his racer and like talks to someone, and they're having some sort of
Oh,
argument.
you
So
got me.
it definitely sounds like they're gonna at least try and put a story around this.
Yeah, I imagine you. I think they want to make this bigger than like even the expectations are, where they want to
Yeah.
make it like the definitive like pod racing game, which Hey, for Star Wars fans, I mean, like that is a pretty big thing. People love pod racing. I think. Do they?
Yes,
I think
they
so,
do.
yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I can never tell with Star Wars fans what the like things they like or things they hate anymore.
I mean, I don't think there's anything better than like Sebulba's pod in episode 1 where it's just like like that is the coolest sounding thing on the universe.
They look cool as shit. I love the way pod racers look. But yeah, we'll see. October 2nd makes sense. Probably the official release date is going to be like specified at May 4th, which coming up
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
soon right now. It's on Monday.
Mhm.
Well, that's it for the news, but we still have reviews of the week in which there's no reviews, but we have the preview for 007 First Light. I thought I'd throw this in. Shinobi has like a whole thing filled with a lot of details. You guys can pick and choose the things you really want to shout out, but I do want to specify from like kind of the quotes right now. GameSpot says could be 2026's GOTY and the best Bond game ever, shaping up to be a phenomenal IO interactive game. CGM says IO Interactive might be the perfect Bond studio, and Metro says 007 First Light passes the James Bond authenticity test. And from everything I was reading and watching about this game, it seems like this is basically kind of the original promise, which is it's a Hitman game, but with a Bond skin. And people are really, really into that. I know, Bob, that you were feeling very skeptical about this game, especially after the state of play, which looked kind of rough there, at least like certain parts of it. But it seems like with all the like previews, it's like, no, actually, IO doing a Bond game, like it is hype, and like this is why. And people are back on the train of like this is an exciting release for the year.
Yeah, I think for me the one that stood out was Blessing's review for kind of funny because, granted, he is a Hitman guy, so I knew he was going to probably be high on it regardless. But I thought what was interesting with him and his review, or I guess preview and his thoughts, was that it's doing a better job of mixing like Uncharted 4 set pieces with your sandbox Hitman style gameplay. And I think that is the perfect blend of what they need to do here to separate it both from the Hitman games and make it feel like a Bond game. Because, like, at the end of the day, there are just certain things you should need to do to feel like James Bond. And if you're in an open sandbox, you may not actually do those things unless you're like a huge Bond fan and know what to do. And so I like that they're still trying to guide you through these big bombastic set pieces that feels like a big action movie. So that was very encouraging to hear. I also really liked how he talked about the license to kill. So there's
Yeah, what's the deal with
basically
that?
like certain sections where it's like you can't just like show up and like dome someone in the head. Like like they do force you to interact with like the melee combat or other ways of solving the missions without just pulling out your gun. And then if something happens and guns have to be pulled out, then it's like a license to kill and it like gets activated, and then it's like, okay,
Yeah.
now we're in this stage of it. And I'm sure there's going to be instances where you have to fail on purpose and then you get a gunfight scene or whatever. Because yeah, like I was losing steam on this game hard to the point where I just was not like looking forward to it at all. And this was the first time since I feel like we first saw it that it's like, okay, wait a second, we got to remember who's working on this. Like, this is
Yeah.
IO. These are
The
like
goats.
the goats of their respective genre. And it's James Bond. I mean, listen, you could be a I'm a Mission Impossible guy, but I still have respect for James Bond, and like,
Hmm.
it would be a whole lot of fun. And honestly, James Bond has a lot of pedigree in video games. And
Oh
I
yeah.
think it would be a whole lot of fun to play as James Bond and have a true James Bond experience. And it really does feel like it's coming together and we're going to get that experience.
Yeah, especially with how long James Bond has been kind of like out of the loop ever since the last Daniel Craig movie. God, which one was that? Skyfall, the last one? Or am I thinking?
No, it was, I watched it too. I kinda like what's the name? It's like, There's No Time to
No Time to
Die.
Die. Yeah,
I
I
really
think
I like the
was
name.
it
I
No
was like,
Time to Die? Yeah,
it's too
that was the
yeah.
last.
because
Okay, make sure.
it like ends very specifically. That's like, yeah, this is the last one. So,
Oh,
well,
okay, yeah, yeah.
because I don't know if they have the next Bond yet. I still
I
don't
don't
think
think
they
they
That's
have
the thing.
announced
They're
it.
still trying to
uh,
figure. I think they have them, but they haven't announced it yet. I know
yeah.
the big theory was Idris Elba, which I was like,
Yeah,
I'm in for that. I love
I would
Idris
have been
Elba.
into
so
that,
sick.
I do want to shout out specifically one thing I really got excited about is this bluffing mechanic. Shinobi puts this bluffing mechanic is fun. One example sees Bond knock out a guard only to be caught by another on patrol. Bond quickly activates the bluff skill and convinces him that the unconscious guard has suffered a medical emergency and had fallen on his own.
Mm.
I love that. I love stuff where you can kind of fuck around and like use charisma to get past certain checks. It's why in RPGs I always try to run a charisma build where I was just like, I'm not dealing with you guys. So I'm just gonna try to sweet talk out my way out of this. And it seems like you could very much do that throughout this game, which is so exciting to me. I think that's probably the part that got me the most excited, which they already showed off before, but like hearing it's like, no, it actually is like a real thing. It's not just a trailer footage thing. Like it is something you can pull off in the game and it works.
And to that point, Wolf, there I remember Blessing talking about how you can impersonate. So like he impersonate eavesdrop um, on a conversation because like apparently to get closer to his target, he need a credential, and he overheard a conversation where like this person had an interview but he's late, so now they're trying to get this second person to show up. So because he overheard that conversation, he was able to convince that media person like, hey, I'm the first person, like, hey, let me go do this interview, and like rush through it and stuff, and was able to like progress through that way. So it definitely, again, going back to that
Oh,
sandbox thing, having those options. And I also liked he had mentioned, I forget is specifically what he said, but it was like someone said something really cheesy, and then the fighting or action scene happens, and then Bond says that cheesy thing back to him in like a traditional like classic humor, just like saying something as you're killing the same guy who said it to you kind of thing. And he had also mentioned how like you'll hear like the da-da, 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 or like the dun 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 dun,
yeah,
dun.
yeah,
And
the
it's like,
classic trumpet.
man, like this is gonna be fun. Like this is just gonna be a fun
Goofy.
game.
Yeah, no, that sounds amazing. Cannot wait. I do want to get Beef your thoughts on the record. How you feeling about this? It seems like you're also pretty excited.
Because yes, I'm also like big into Hitman. Luckily, I never really wavered. I feel like the biggest wave, like on like my hype, most just because of trust in IO, um, which obviously can bite can bite you, but
Yeah, of
this isn't
course.
like this isn't like um a Suicide Squad situation where it's like you're going
Yeah, they're
from you're
doing the
like
same thing
they're
they
still
do.
making mostly. It's just like okay, we're gonna change a little. But yeah, the biggest thing that ever scared me was like the Switch 2 port getting delayed because I'm like, I know everyone's like worried about technical stuff, but
Hmm.
so yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. This is like in that like this one, I'm like this what's picking up because I know this and like Forza and Lego Batman are all like coming at the end of the month, so
Yeah, busy time.
all of which I'm like and like have my eye on. So I'm like, but this is the one I'm like, yes, I probably will be purchasing this. Of course, unless there is like big things to worry about. So yeah,
Yeah,
everything about it sounds like yeah, like a lot like Hitman, which I've been playing a bit, but I think it was like early in the year I got back into again. I'm like, yeah, there's- I like exactly how they do Hitman, and I can see like Bob is saying all these ways they can kind of make things more like Bond. So I kind of do the same thing where it's like you just are able to move around the world, find your target, but kind of blend in, all that stuff. But it's like, yes, only no one else really does games like this, only IOI. So yeah, I'm
yeah,
completely fine with all of this. And yes, so I still expect. It sounds like yeah, like my expectations for like the rating dropped a little bit just because everyone's pissed, but this is like bringing them okay back up. So
yeah. We could
we'll
be excited
see.
again.
So like I'm back into the yeah, like I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it'd be game of the year contender, but as long as it's in the very good rating, that's all I need because yeah, like it speaks to me specifically.
D- Don't underrate it, Beef. It seems like this one very much is in the game of the year
Well, I
contender
know because I
range.
think Bless it was Bless. Oh, speaking of Bless, who's getting a big shout out today, it did specifically think this was a big one. He was saying
Yeah,
like, yeah, he felt
VGC
like it
also
was.
said it. Like I think did Jake Baldino also say Game of the Year contender?
I think
It
I
seems like
know
more.
Euro. I think Eurogamer was also. Maybe I'm wrong.
It
I know a
went
Guessing
few
had said it
sites.
as well.
it
Yeah.
went from a game that's like, oh, people are like, oh, this will be like a really high quality game in a year of high quality games too. Oh, this could be GOTY. Like
Mhm.
this could be like right up there with GTA 6, which is very high praise. But
It
yeah,
all
very
started
excited.
with the Lana Del Rey news. It's all coming back now.
Oh my god, it all circles back. Yeah, very excited. Out of all the May games, this is by far the one I'm the most interested in. So bring it on. I'm ready for it. Maybe not right now though. I have a lot of backlog games I need to work
Mhm.
on. But when I'm done with those, then bring it on. I'm ready. But yeah, that's it for the reviews. I did want to do for our topic a quick game of the year checkup. We're in May, so not halfway, but close to halfway through the year. We have been playing a lot of games. I'm curious, not just for y'all, like what your game of the year is right now, but also do you think that game is going to stick to be your game of the year, and also just other games you played this year that you think are in contention. Uh, and also, like, what do you think coming out later in the year could take that spot from you? I guess I'll go first. Because so far I haven't played that much this year, or I went from not playing that much to when we get to what we've been playing. I've been playing a shit ton of games at once lately. Uh, it all started, boys. What was the first game of this year I played?
Oh god, what would have been?
I think we all played it. I know for
Was
a
it
fact me and
Resident
Bob did.
Evil? No, maybe not.
No, it's not
Wait,
Resident Evil. Me and Bob
me and
played this.
we.
It doesn't exist anymore, but we played it.
Oh,
Oh.
okay, got it.
So yeah, hi guard. Shout outs to that. God
I
rest its
couldn't
soul.
play it. I was out of the country. When I came back, no one was playing anymore.
That is crazy that like you could just miss a live
It
service launch and then
literally, it
2 weeks
was.
later it's gone.
I made a joke and I was like, and then as it came, I was like, oh god, I really am not. I was like, I wouldn't even have the chance to play this. That's where we're at.
It's very funny. But yeah, shout out to Highguard. That game. God, Bob, do you remember when people were like hardcore defending it?
I mean, yeah, because I wasn't exactly. I just hate the narrative of like
Oh yeah, I'm the same.
dead on
I'm the same.
arrival and stuff like that, and
I
like
wanted to give it a shot, and then we gave it a
yeah,
shot. We were like, well, no, this is bad.
yeah. And then the more I play, I'm like, yeah, this really just doesn't have any juice, does it?
Yep. And then from there, I played God of War: Sons of Sparta, which that game was
Oh
fucking dog
Jesus.
shit. I'm sorry.
I don't think
Listen,
I've
I
got.
know there are
Have I
people who
got
like
my
it.
chance to bitch? I need to bitch about this too
Yeah, I need to hear you
when you're
bitch
done.
about that. That game sucks. I dropped it so quick. I'm like, this is horrible.
I, so I picked up on now Fantasy Critic as I think as I got plenty of crap for it. But I was like,
Yeah, I forgot
guys,
about that.
this is my prop. I was like, well, I think the first news that broke, we didn't even see it, but it was like the student announcement. And at least for me, I
Yeah.
don't think I said anything, but I was like, "Ooh, just huh?" And then when I
Hmm.
saw it at that state play, I was like, oh, "This I don't like this art style." I'm so mad because I'm like, we're in like a renaissance of 2D action games, especially like
Oh yeah.
IP ones with like Shinobi and Ninja
So
Gaiden,
song.
Ragebound, Silk Song, uh, yeah, like and like stuff coming out like Castlevania. I'm like, this is. I think we all thought, and that's why I picked. I was like, this is a slam dunk. This is God of War. Like,
Yeah, it's such a
I'm. eh,
layup.
I feel like I'm like still like this. I'm like, I feel like plenty of students have been chomping at the bit to like do this. So I can't believe. Yeah, like it just was like a game that doesn't even. It got below a 70. I'm like, I cannot believe that actually is
It's
what ended
insane.
up with. So
It
that's
was
why I'm
just
like,
so boring. It is so boring, beef. It
mhm,
has no sauce. The combat is awful. The story is bland. Even the look of it, I'm like, dude, this is so cheap looking. Like it's one of those things where like the pixel art looks good, and then you see them move, and it's so like riggy, I guess you could call it, like, but like very much
mhm.
animation rigs that just look off to me, man. I thought it sucked. I cannot believe they put the God of War name on that game because it is a really bad title. But
I
like, what?
genuinely
Yeah,
just
what's up, Bob?
real quick. I genuinely wonder what would have happened if they gave that game a marketing cycle. Like in the
Oh
opposite,
yeah,
it's
it
like
would
the
have been way
opposite
worse.
argument of Hi-Fi Rush, where it's like, wow, we really should have marketed and hyped up this game and ended up being like a game of the year contender. conversely, like if they would have tried to hype up this game over
They
like
they
3
do.
months, yeah, they knew it was dog shit, clearly.
Mm.
Yeah. I sound harsh on it, and it's because I have expectations with God of War. Like it's if it was like a random indie Metroidvania, it's like it's fine. Like I'm not gonna give it a shit. You know, they're trying. This is God of War. You don't give God of War to what was it, Sad Cat or Wildcat? I
Mega
forget.
Mad Cat, Mega Cat, something like that.
Not Mad Cat.
I know.
Whatever
No,
cat.
Wolf, you're allowed to be Mega Cap.
Mega.
You're allowed to be negative. It has a 66 on Open Critic.
Uh,
That is not a good game.
Oh yeah. No, that's the thing. I'm just like I'm surprised it even got the 66. I'll be real. I hear some people talk about it. It's like, oh, it's good. It's like, man, I guess we just played different games then. I don't know what you guys see in it.
wasn't Fusion like saying like it crashed too? Like the small
Oh
2D
yeah, it
game
crashed.
is like was like
Dude, it
crashing all the
crashed for
time.
it crashed for me, and I didn't even play that much. But like, it crashed pretty quickly. I'm like, what? How? But thankfully, things looked up because I then played Resident Evil Requiem. And I guess we could park it on this. Beef, you also played this, I assume.
Yes, that's is my number one right now,
Oh
which
yeah,
is
no,
mostly because a lot of things haven't like been up my alley that have high ratings. But yeah, for no right now, that's my number one.
yeah, no. I mean, I guess we could talk about it real quick. It's pretty high up for there for me. I
Mhm.
really like this game a lot. As time has gone on, I've definitely felt myself like wane a bit from it, especially the second half.
Oh
But
yeah, oh
I'm
yeah.
like, no, this is still like a very strong game.
Uh-huh.
At least to start the year out with, especially.
I know. I felt at the time where I was like, well, not even before, but like once it happened, I was like, oh, is this really? Which is funny because it's like in most ways, it's like I like the two styles of Resident Evil, where it's like the third person actiony ones, and I'm probably even now more sold on like 7 and 8's first person scary shit. I'm like, man,
Mhm.
it's so good. So it's funny to me that it's like when you kind of like have a game where it's like two halves of that, I'm like, I would have just preferred if it was like 40 one or the other. So I feel like a lot of people are like that. But I feel like for the most part, generally, people are like still at this is gonna be a game of the year
Oh yeah,
contender. So
definitely in the top 10 for a lot of
which is
people.
yeah, so oh yeah, I mean it is for me too. Uh,
I
so I'm like not surprised. So I don't know what would dethrone it yet, but it could be for a while. Just on the pure fact that yeah, it's like I love a horror game, so it's gonna
and Bob,
hold.
yeah, and Bob, we don't need you to explain it. We already know it's your
Well,
goatee. So
now I want to tell you the store page is one of the best I've ever seen. I haven't gone to single click past it, but let me tell you, there's a looker on there.
It's so
I would,
It's
I
so
want you
funny
guys to know.
watching like oh, I'm sorry, I was like being quick.
I
It's
don't
like it's
know.
so funny like the people get scared of horror games. I'm like, and then there's me. It's like I need that tension. I'm like maybe
Yeah,
I'm the problem.
Beef, there's something wrong with you. We need to
Oh,
get
I
that
know.
checked
I
out.
I
yeah,
watched like Bless and Andy play. I'm like, and they're like at the like from the very start, they're like I don't want to play this, and I'm like, oh guys, this is fun as shit. Come on.
there's definitely parts where I was like a little freaked out. I definitely think more than like other
Hmm.
horror games, but like horror games don't really scare me as much as like horror movies, weirdly enough.
Yeah.
Because like at least with a horror game, I'm like, well, I can influence the outcome. I can do something about this. I want to point out, guys, we always make fun of how Bop is scared to the point where our channel name for like Resident Evil was Resident Evil Bop is scared.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Maybe one day Bop will beat Last of Us too.
Here's the thing, Wolf. Here is the one thing that may save you guys. Okay.
What's up?
My girlfriend loves horror movies, and she's trying to get me to like watch more of them.
Oh no.
So either two things are going to happen. One, I'm going to start to like them because she's going to force me to watch them. Or two, I'm going to throw the idea like, "Hey, what if I played this game and you watch me play it and you think it's funny because I'm going to act, scared the whole time." So
Act scared.
be scared. So it's like there could be a way I could finagle my way into playing Resident Evil by the end of the year.
We will see, Bob. I hope for your sake. I mean, I would love to have you jump on the Resident Evil train. It's a good ass game. But also, I think I'd recommend other Resident Evil games before Requiem, so you probably wouldn't get to it in time.
Mm.
Anything you guys want to shout out that came out in the first 2 months of the year before we move into March?
Um,
First 2 months.
I should have put
Because
it
it
in my
felt like a
list.
weirdly like quiet first
Well,
2 months.
there was like that's what I mean. Those games, I think Pocopia was like March, but I think there was like
That was
or
March.
like there was Mugenics, which like that
Yeah, we just
could
didn't
be
get
my
to it.
prep, but I have just not got to it. That's what I mean. Is
Yeah,
like
I
there's
missed
stuff
it.
like that.
That's too
Yeah.
smart for me. I'm too dumb for that game. I guess we
Yeah,
can
I
move into
got
parts
nothing
now.
else from the first 2 months.
Yeah, man. We'll start with what Beef mentioned, Pocopia, which it was funny, Bob. We always talked about. We were kind of making fun of this game, like whatever. And it turned out to be one of the highest rated games of the year, and a game I know you really loved.
It is, yeah. I cannot believe the 360 I made on this game, but it is currently my goatee.
Hell
I
yeah, man.
love this game to death. I genuinely don't know what's going. Well, actually, that's such a lie. I know in 2 weeks what's going to
Yeah.
beat it.
Yeah.
Um, but like, it is a really, really fun game, and I think it's definitely going to stay in the top five. I don't know exactly where it's going to shake out, but like, I had such a fun time going through that world and creating and exploring and just getting lost and like I very highly rate, like, one of the things that I value the most in what I think makes a good game is, can I get lost in playing your game?
Yeah.
And I knew when I found myself clearing out piles of trash blocks for like hours and like building up this grand asphalt road that did not need to be made at all, but I just really liked the idea of doing it. And I got in like this city planner builder mode. I was like, oh no, like, this game has its hooks in me. And I really, um, I take a lot of I take note of that, like,
Yeah.
very
You
highly,
pay attention.
and that's something that means a lot to me, is if I can get lost in your game. And with Pacopia, it's just like that loop is just so satisfying. And yeah, I really enjoyed my time with it. And I know it won't end up my goatee, but it will be up there for a while.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I have it in the Switch right now. I'm ready to play it, but there's just so many other games. But I'm excited, man. It looks awesome, and I'm not into these type of games usually, so I'm curious if this is the one where it's like, no, we're gonna win you through with Pokemon. Did you play it at all, Beef?
Yeah. I was like thinking about it because it was rated so highly, but I was like, I don't have much love for like even Animal Crossing or
Mhm.
Dragon Quest Builders, which said that's why I was like, maybe I
Totally.
kind of still want to play it at some point. I don't know if I'll get to it by this year though.
The big March game for me was Super Meat Boy 3D. I'm about halfway through it. It's good. It's nothing really that crazy, but I am enjoying it. I don't really think it's going to be in my top 10 at the end of the year, though. It's not really doing anything special, in my opinion. It's just a pretty solid enough 3D platformer.
How
Any
many
other March games? Oh,
how many
sorry.
worlds are there?
I think it's 6 or 5.
Okay. Yeah, then I'm about halfway through as well, because I'm almost done with World 3. Um, I haven't gone back to it since like the first time I pretty much one-shotted through the first couple worlds in the first night. And it's like, I'm with you, Wolf. Like, I had fun. I didn't hate my
Yeah,
time with it, but
it's not memorable.
I'm not like ever picking back up the controller being like, yeah, let me get back in on Super Meat Boy.
We don't got to say it that way, Jack's listening. um, but yeah, no, I guess it's just like this is a very solid game, but I'm struggling to find the like, oh, this is the special sauce that like really puts it together. Any other March games you guys want to shout out?
Yes. I would like to shout out Screamer. Of
Yeah,
course, the
big year for racing games.
it
I noticed
really
that.
is. It really is. Even though Screamer didn't unfortunately hit the mark for me like I really wanted to, um, it was still a really fun time, and I really enjoyed it. And I do think there are people that this will hit for, and I'm just glad we're getting more arcade racers that are trying to do like cool and interesting things, because we don't get enough of that anymore. So shout out Screamer, and then also shout out Scritchy Scratchy. Fucking
Great
love
name.
that game. Fucking love that game, dude. That's
I don't even
the
know what
that's
the
the
hell that
scratch
is.
off. It's the cookie clicker,
It
but
looked
with
really cool.
scratch off tickets. It is
All right,
so
hold up.
addicting. It is unbelievable. I think it's like $5 on Steam. You can easily waste like an entire week playing this game. It's fantastic. I love it to death. I mean, it's only sitting at 3 for me right now, but I'm sure it'll fall. But I really had way too much fun with that game.
Hell yeah, dude. Beef. What about you? Any other March games, or are we good to move in?
Yep, we're good to go to. We got big ones in April though.
April is where I think we're gonna get like the
Hmm.
big discussion. I mean, a lot of stuff came out this month, especially for me. I have like fucking 12 games, but I'll say right now, the ones I have like finished up are Pragmata and Vampire Crawlers. Um, and I've talked a lot about Pragmata. This is probably my goatee so far. I think it's probably going to change pretty quickly, but like it's either that or the other game, Vampire Crawlers. I love both these games. I think they're both phenomenal. I think Pragmata has a very strong story. A little corny, but like in a good way. That type of
Yeah.
story that I like, which is it's corny, but I kind of love it.
It's fun. It's funny that like for all we made of, I say we, I was deaf, but I like more me, like made fun of like the sad dad genre. It's like literally now it's like I'm kind of into it. And I like how people
Yeah,
call
I
like
like Happy Dad.
DK retrospectively in the same thing where it's like, yes, I am enjoying this new like Happy Dad
It's a new
simulator. Like,
vibe
yeah,
to it.
like
Yeah.
it really is. It's like, and I'm like, I don't know if it is just like it's like it does feel like it makes it more fun to just like, yeah, like I have this partner for
Hmm.
some reason, I'm fine with them jabbing in my ear, so it really I
It's
think
not as annoying.
Pragmata especially is, like, hilarious because it's, like I think we were talking about it in our Discord, it's, like, the game like, I didn't like I said, I don't play Animal Crossing, but it's funny in this game, I'm like, "Oh, I get this new, like, toy to put in the cradle for Diana,"
Yeah.
and I'm like, "Fuck you." I'm like, "Oh, I gotta see, like, how this interaction goes," so,
The
yeah, I also really like Pragmata.
the gameplay is really the standout for me with
Mhm.
Pragmata. Like that combat is so much fun. It's so new. Like that's what I really like about it. It's not. I haven't seen any other game with a combat system similar. I can't say it. It's a like to much else. It's its own thing, which is so fun to see them still trying new things over at Capcom. I'm very happy about it. It's definitely up there for me.
I
But I
do like
also, oh yeah, go
Oh,
ahead.
you can go. I kind of I feel like this even the structure, it's like you can go back. It's almost like small, like Resident Evil kind of maps where it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
there's plenty of reasons to like look around and find like any upgrade stuff. I'm glad they went with that too. That helped me a lot too.
And then the other one I want to shout out is Vampire Crawlers. Oh, actually, before that, Bob, did you load up Pragmata at all?
Yes, I beat the first area, so I'm
Nice.
moving into the second area, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I'm still very early, but the gameplay I think is fascinating with how you're kind of going back and forth, and I know we're gonna get more of that, and I'm excited to keep going. And yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about it. I'm just too early to have a true opinion on it.
Totally. But yeah, the other one that's very high up for me, probably honestly, if I'm being honest with myself, is my goatee so far is
They're like
Vampire Crawlers, which me and you beef we played the shit out of.
yeah, they're like right
Uh,
next to each other in Pragmata. Hilariously, they're like right next to each other. I'd have
it
to think about it.
beef. I didn't tell you I did platinum it. I got the
Oh,
platinum earlier
good.
today, so that's officially done. I fucking love this game. It is so addicting. Strong loop. Has a lot of that dopamine like obsessive nature that survivors had,
Hmm.
but you kind of have to think about it more where like you're thinking about these mana combos and stacking wild cards and kind of creating this ascending order until you're doing like thousands upon thousands of damage with like you have 170 mana and like
Hmm.
times 35 multiplier. It's an absolute blast to just it's so much fun just to break the game. And I feel like that's like some the sign of a really strong card game in my opinion is it's just as fun to like break the game as it is to like play it normally.
I need to look up how long it took. I guess, yeah, because for me, for I don't get in my part about
It was
it.
about 20 hours for me for the platinum.
Oh yeah, just it says mine 20, just under 21 hours. Yeah, because I'm like, it almost feels like cheating how much it like does like similar to Vampire Survivors, which I'm also as big into, like the dopamine stuff. But it just is like I can't deny it works. I can't
Yeah,
deny
it
that. Like
definitely
I'm like
works.
it works. It's like, and especially for me, who doesn't even like. I think the like card games. It's like it depends. It's like I never gone to like Slay the Spire, but I do play Balatro a lot, so it really depends. In some ways, it's funny how it almost there's ways in which the combined nature of this and Vampire Survivor like fixes some of those for me. Where it's like I play Slay Spy. I'm like, I have no concept of how to build this card deck. And here it's like, well, sometimes it's not as much about that as like, well, can you just get your combo up and have enough mana? And here's all these permanent upgrades to help you. So, and like, yeah, it's like, it's fine if you take a crappy card because you can evolve them like you did in Survivors. And that makes like basically almost every card worth it to take. So,
Yeah.
there's a lot of ways I really appreciate it. And it helped me I just blasted through it for 21 hours without much to shoot. I did say it initially. I was like, "Oh, this is almost too easy," which was a problem. But then,
Yeah.
like, then it kind of like spiked at some point. I was telling you guys, I was like, that's when I was like, okay, I need to like reset because I'm like, now I'm like, I can't even beat this level anymore.
It
So,
it's easy, like, it's hard, and then it gets easy for a bit, and then you get to the last level, and it gets hard again.
oh, the last level is like, I was like, I did not
That was
blame
brutal.
anyone or like being
Um,
like, "Oh, I need help." It also is like, and I'm like, and this is me who has the same problem in Dark Souls. Where it's like you don't have to like clear the entirety of every like part
yeah,
of the
but you
level,
gotta.
but
You
I kind of
gotta.
just do. I'm like I do what to do, even though there might not even
Wasted so much
it
time doing
might
that,
not
but
even
I
be
love it.
worth it because I'm not really getting much except for like XP. But yeah,
But the
I mean,
number
it's
go up, man.
definitely I would definitely recommend to anyone, like, cause like I said, especially if you don't even like deck builds, cause it is made to just break, and of course, like survivors, that's just fun to do. It's funny when it's like, cause yeah, it's like I got to like one of the hard achievements is to be like not the Reaper, but it's like the Trickster, and it's like, but at that
Yeah,
point,
that one's annoying.
I had like a modifier, where it's like just do damage based on the coins I had, and I had more coins than he had health, so I was
That's
like, I
amazing.
just play one card, he's dead. So yeah,
N-
so I don't know.
Just a fun game to break.
I think it'll hit top 10. I
It's
don't.
definitely a top 10.
I'm sure playing games will pass it because again, I'll say like it feels like cheating, but it works. So I'm at least gonna give it the shout out of being like, yeah, top 10.
And then I mean, obviously, there's a lot of other games. Mouse also came out this month. I've been playing that. I played a little bit. I really enjoy it. I think it's a really fun boomer shooter. I'm gonna be completely genuine with you guys. I don't give a shit about the story. Every time a cutscene shows up, spam the dialogue. I do not care. But I think the actual combat is a ton of fun, and I love that art style and the look of it so much. So I'm like really excited to get more into that one. I'm digging it a ton.
Yeah, I'm planning to get to it
Um,
later.
and then Saros, which just came out. I played a bit of it. Really, again, amazing. Love Housemark. I'm enjoying it a ton. I will say, noticeably easier than Returnal, at least on first like kind of brush with it. But I do imagine that it's going to start to get really difficult, especially later on. So I'm curious to see where it goes from there. But that was also something I noticed with a lot of reviews. Many people saying that the game is easy, at least easier than Returnal, except the guy at IGN who gave it a 7 because he doesn't like roguelikes.
Just very funny.
Listen,
That review was awful. But yeah, outside of that, it's pretty much everything I've been playing for April. I'm curious if you guys have anything else. Like, there was a lot of other stuff that came out this month. Tomodachi Life, Iln, shout outs. um,
Yeah,
anything you guys want to shout out for April?
I'm looking. I don't
I
think
would
I
like to
played
shout
anything.
out my second place game for Game
Iln,
of the
right?
Year. We're able to put up DLC for Game of the Year, right? Because Terran Armada for Starfield
Oh
was
my god!
pretty
Cut the
fucking
mic.
sick.
Cut the mic. I'm not doing the Starfield revisionism.
It's not revisionism. I'm playing in 2026 and I'm having a great time. Fuck you, Wolf.
Oh, whoa, okay, listen, you got mad at Bench when he was trying to hype it up, okay? You
Yeah, but
betrayed me.
he didn't actually play it until he did. And now I'm playing it. And if anything, you haven't played it in a while, so we should be
No,
coming
no, we're
after
not
you.
doing this. That's not no. Beef. Do I have an ally? You didn't like Starfield, right?
No, I like Starfield. I didn't like the DLC. The first DLC I
Yes,
didn't
the
like.
first DLC, bad. Shattered Space, not a fan. New DLC, fun, very good.
I will get to. I'm surprised that I was like, wait a minute, we actually get this with the expansion pack. I do.
Okay,
I
so
want to play. I'm just not as much as I do. Unfortunately, like it a lot. The game. I just unfortunately do not feel the call to go back, which might be a
dude,
point against it, but eventually maybe I will feel pulled to go back.
dude, Bob,
I
Bob,
forgot
this
about
is
it.
crazy. I was thinking about this. I was thinking about. It's like, what is a game that all of the Slice of Gaming members like, and the two that are the closest are Expedition 33, but I never played it, so I don't care. And Starfield, but I
You
hate that game.
poor Wolf.
I'm the dissenting opinion for both.
Yeah, you're kind of a problem, dude.
I'm a problem. I'm the problem child
That is
around
wild
this.
to
Hey,
think about.
hey, guess what? Guess what's also coming up on the list? Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And I don't know how you're feeling
No.
about
I
that
like
one.
that game. I like that game. I want to point out I'm really liking that game. It's way too fucking long. That's all it is.
That's fair. That's fair.
It's
It is
really
way
long,
too
yeah.
long. But it is a really, really good game. And also Yuffie sucks. I hate that character. Um I guess
Your opinions on like that, and you hate Zach. I'm like, this is just. I kind of get Yuffie. The
Yuffie,
Zach
yeah,
one wouldn't.
exactly. We're in the
Yuffie,
same
like,
spot, Beef. Like
And-
Yuffie, okay, I could get. Zach, I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
it's so
you did
funny.
not
Dude.
play. Okay, I played Crisis Core, bro. That
I
the
played
voice-
Crisis Core. What do you mean?
I'm sorry, dude. His voice actor is awful. They hired him on Fiverr. Like that has to be it. He's so bad. I can't take him
But
seriously.
that's why he's so endearing. Like,
We are in a war, and he's out here joking around.
and he's doing 50 squats, and I don't care. He's my boy.
Yeah.
I can't stand him. I just can't do it, man. Anyways, any other April games? Or is that everything? Okay, if that's everything, I guess we could just
Yep.
look ahead. Or wait, were you gonna say something, Beef?
No, I was like, isn't there something coming out like next week? Oh, mixtape. That's what I was thinking of.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff coming out in
Yeah.
May. I'm I'm curious. What do you guys think is the game that could take over your Game of the Year spot? I'll just say it first. GTA 6, duh. Not much to
yeah.
say there. But anything else?
Forza.
Forza, yeah, for you for sure. I mean, it's coming up close. I mean, it's kind of
I'm
crazy.
very, yeah, I'm
It's like
very
May
excited
15th
for
for
that.
early access.
Yeah, Forza's gonna be good. I'm not sure. I know Forza 5 and 5 is. I'm not sure how much Forza 6 is gonna be.
007's really exciting.
It'll
for me.
be 007. I'm sorry, I was like
Control
F1.
Resonance, I think, is going to be a sneaky top pick for me.
If that comes
Mhm.
out this year.
I think it will.
Kind of need it not to because I traded in for Dustbones. I don't know.
No,
If
I think I needed to actually. Now that you mention that,
you know, it's crazy, Beef. I don't even know if Dustbloods is coming out this year.
Oh God, yeah, but that's not like I can't picture that as like a possible one. That's gotta surprise me.
I think it'll be in my top 10, but like, dude, I don't even know if it's out this year. That's the thing, man. Nintendo
true.
doesn't be speaking.
Speaking of that, though, Fable is definitely like has me like I'm like if
Yeah,
it, yeah,
Fable.
and then like Wolverine, which again I'm still like I know
That's a sleeper, yeah.
you guys I know like a lot of people who are like I have to I'm not sure about
It's-
Wolverine, but
It's mostly because Spider-Man 2 was kind of disappointing.
That's
for me,
what
but
I mean,
I think
yeah.
Wolverine is gonna be better.
I'm like I guess because I was like oh, I still enjoyed Spider-Man 2. Like I don't think of it,
yeah, it's a fun game.
so I'm like oh okay.
Yeah,
Although
the
I
problem
know
with Spider-Man 2 is the story, but like the gameplay is great.
most of this stuff, yeah, it's like I think that it'll be like we'll know for certain how we feel about. I think closer to release. That's at least for me. It's like I need to be like close to something to really be feeling like the hype for it.
Beef, can I get you as an ally on the Phantom Blade Zero train?
Look, I mean, it's on my list, but I'm again, it's in a weird. It's especially in a weird
come
time
on,
now.
man.
It will.
It's gonna be good though.
Yeah,
Listen,
but we
man, I
said.
already striked out on one of my top 3 with
I was
Crimson
about to say,
Desert.
didn't we say that about you? You also like. I will say it looks much. I have more faith in that than I do in a Crimson
okay.
Desert.
Listen, man. Okay, Crimson Desert was hopium. All right. I don't. I will say, with the updates, it seems like people are way more into.
Oh
Crimson
yeah,
Desert
no.
now.
What is it?
I want to get to it. It looks like it could be a fun time for me, at least.
GTA
But yeah,
6 is just like the one where it's like it's so massive. It's like I almost
it feels
like
obvious.
it's like it feels so obvious. I'm like trying to think about it, but I'm like, yeah, why
It's
not?
probably it. Like what? It's that thing of like, if it's obvious, like there's no reason not to deny it. It almost
If
feels like.
they if they tell a tight story with Gears E-Day,
Yeah,
I
that'd
have
be
a feeling that could like come out of nowhere and be a contender at least.
Yeah, I just haven't.
Because honestly, Gears 5 would have been nominated if it wasn't so controversial in their level structure.
yeah.
Yeah, and I just never been into Gears, so I'm still looking forward to either. I just never got into it, but I do agree this is like a good one. It's
Before
another
that,
one. I need a date for that too.
how you feeling about Onimusha beef?
That's you have definitely talked me into this.
I'm
D-
so
d-
excited for that
Does
game.
that have it? That doesn't have a date though.
No,
It
it's just
doesn't.
2026 right now.
Okay.
I feel like
Well,
the
it.
fact that like we're seeing how strong Capcom's year has been is like I have zero
Oh,
reason to
yeah.
date
That's
down.
too. Is like the thing. Is like Capcom's.
And of course, we mentioned Fire Emblem earlier in the podcast, but yeah,
Yeah.
can't fucking wait.
There's still a lot of good, like really good games. I think that's what's
Oh
weird.
yeah.
It's like I've played like only 3 games so far that I'm like definitely like I'm like, oh yeah, I really enjoyed them. But so it's like this next 8 months are gonna be packed.
It's a pretty strong, but it's also just like one of those years where it's like, well, GTA 6 is gonna be the GOTY. Just like it kind of has to be GOTY. That's the problem with GTA 6. It's not a, oh, it could be. It's like no, it has to be unless you're just not into GTA like some people. Then like it's pretty much guaranteed to be GOTY for anyone who's a big GTA fan.
Mhm. And we'll see if I get to Soros. I need to try. I didn't
It's
like Returnal that much, but but like it mostly is because it's but like a lot of things are like they specifically said there's like the changes and so I'm like okay, so I probably should. My friend's buying it, so I would definitely play it by probably soon.
Oh, and I forgot about the big sleeper hit for GOTY, The Adventures of Elliot the Millennium Tales. Shoutouts.
Yeah.
I'm actually excited for that game. It looks
I
good.
do wish that's the one. I just thought I was like, I do wish there was an indie game I could shut up. It's the
Tough,
weird
man.
year. It's
You
the
know what
weird year for indies.
Fusion said this in Most Anticipated, and I kind of fully agree with him. Where it's like it feels like last year was the year for indies. This year is the year for
It was.
AAA.
It
Like
was.
it feels like indies are just gonna have a harder time breathing, considering there's just so many big AAA releases from like all the companies this year.
Yeah. I'm hoping something comes out of nowhere, but
Oh, and also
again,
I almost forgot. It's rumored, but like if it does come out, Ocarina of Time remake's gonna be really high for me because I love that original game. But yeah, I think that's it. Good topic, boys. I think we're ready to talk about what we've been playing. We already talked about most of what we've been playing,
mm,
but I do have a couple more things. Just want to shout out. I played Pokemon Champions. Fun game. Uh, it's one of those things. If you want to get into competitive Pokemon, it's actually a really strong like introductory point. I like the smaller format, so there's a lot fewer Pokemon, and the community has made it very funny. It's been an experience to like interact with the community during this whole game's like existence. But yeah, I'm enjoying it quite a bit. I'm having a good time with it. Curious where it's going to go. As season 2 is supposed to start in a couple weeks, so I'm curious if they're going to change quite a bit within that season. But outside of that, just what I was talking about earlier, uh, Saros started it pretty good. Vampire Crawlers loved it. Pragmata finished that. Mouse BI pretty shortly in, but still really enjoying it. Uh, what about you guys? Anything you guys want to shout out for what you've been playing? Bob, I do need to talk about this. Returnal. You
Yeah,
finished the final boss, I think. I think that was the
yes.
last update you had.
Yeah, I more or less beat the game this week because I had started a while ago. Stuff came out, so I fell off for a little bit, and then after Starfield, I was like, oh yeah, I need to go back and beat Returnal because I think where I had left off was like literally the halfway point. So like the second set of biomes is where I picked it back up. And I am at such odds with this game because
Interesting.
when I am in the thick of it and I'm having to dodge a bunch of stuff, like enemies are moving around. Like really, I think that this game at its peak for me was like mini bosses that had extra little minions coming at you, because I thought the mini bosses were actually more interesting than the final bosses, or like the stage bosses, outside of like the set pieces that the stage bosses provided. Um, I just thought the mini bosses were more interesting because most of them were actually moving around or having like interesting, like unrecognizable move sets compared to the final bosses of each stage. Seemed to be, they were either completely stationary, which just bothered me because it's like, okay, I'm just moving back and forth dodging these bullets while I shoot at a giant person that has a massive hitbox. Okay, not really finding the fun in this. Whereas like the mini bosses, they provided more of a challenge, because like I remember the last mini boss in the water area, he gives you malfunctions or like the debuffs if you get hit with some of his projectiles, and it's like, how does a mini boss have the most punishing like projectile in the game, but they don't give that to the final bosses? I thought that was just such a curious decision. But um my point being, like, I really had a fun time when I was actually playing the game. The problem is it didn't feel like I was actually playing the game a lot. Um,
Oh,
it
interesting.
it just like the runs are so long. There's so much backtracking or just like running around completed levels, um, and just long-winded areas where I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, this is not like it,
A lot
it
of exploration.
yeah, which like is cool, but it the game for me just seemed to try and toe the line of being both a roguelite and an action shooter. And because it rode that line so well, I don't think it did a good job of being one or the other. So it's like this weird split where it's like, yeah, the shooting in this game is great. The guns are great. They're really creative. The abilities are really cool with them. And I really enjoyed all but one, that stupid, like, the pylon one where you'd have to trap it in the lightning bolts. That one
Yeah,
sucked.
that was
I
lame.
just didn't want to think about having to use that one. All the other ones were great. But that was good. The abilities were good. The upgrades were good. Like having to balance out the parasites and the malfunctions and taking a risk on malignant chests and everything. Like that was all really fun. And then there's this other side of the game where it's like, yeah, you're not really doing anything. You're exploring, you're looking around for something specific. You are kind of playing the RNG game, and like sometimes it works out for you and sometimes it doesn't. And then of course there's that damn house. Like nothing is more of a run
Yeah, that
killer
always scared
than
the shit
that
out of you.
damn house, where it's like, I'm making such good progress, I'm making such momentum, I'm having fun stage to stage, and then that house shows up and it's like, cool, here's a 5 minute slam on the brakes while I go through the front windshield because I don't want to wear my seatbelt. Um, Aptly a good metaphor for that game. Um, but so I think when it was interesting that I beat the game when I did, because now I've been paying also, I did not think it was that hard. I'm not trying to humble
Oh,
brag,
interesting.
but like I one shot all but like two of the final bosses, and I think the most I ever died to was the last mini boss, because he was actually a pain in the ass. Like, for the most part, I just did not have a challenge with this game, and
So everyone
so
has a skill issue. You're better.
it's
Did
it
you?
well, it's very
I'm with
interesting.
you, Bob. I think people overreact about the difficulty.
Yeah, and granted, I also came in after patches, so I
Yeah,
believe there were nerfs, and you can also suspend a run, so that was also nice to have,
that
because
helps a
it's
lot.
insane that you couldn't do that at
I
launch.
couldn't, dude. It's what stopped me from playing it at launch. I was like, I can't suspend a run. Yeah, no, I'm not playing this until they patch that.
Right. So I've just been like really interested in the Saros reviews and opinions, because the thing that would excite me most about a sequel to Returnal is a tighter experience, a more roguelite experience, and a more difficult experience. Now, it sounds like from what everyone has said about Saros, I hit 2 for 3, And granted, you can use modifiers to make the difficulty a little bit harder. So
I definitely found myself in battles more often, at least from what I can imagine. It's been a long time since I played Returnal, so I don't remember
Mm.
exactly. So,
Yeah.
but like I do find myself in fights way more often than expected, which is good. I like it.
good. Yeah, and because I'm definitely not that high on Returnal. Like, I and granted, revisionist history, but it's like looking back at the reviews and how many people put this as their game of the year. That's fine. I respect that. It is a cool game, but it's just like I was kind of let down a little bit. Maybe it's just because I've been having it hyped up to me for the last 5 years. So which is
My
motivation for
fault.
me to well, it's motivation for me to kind of jump into Sorrows. Like I kind of want to just jump in. I've heard a good enough things about it. It's like, all right, let's just get in on more or less the ground floor, and see what we can do here and see if this makes a bigger impact for me.
Hey, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm glad you finally played it. And I mean, it seems like you still definitely enjoyed the game, just not to the
Yeah, I think that's
high
the thing is
level.
that I did enjoy it. I just felt like there was a hole missing where I thought was going to be filled by the game. And it's like I still liked it, but it weirdly felt hollow after beating it.
You're asking too much of it. It's like, damn, I hope this game solves my divorce. But I get everything you said. I think everything you said is completely fair. I like a lot of the house stuff because it is like a cool way to tell the story, but it's also like I definitely have the same feeling of like, all right, let me do the house. Like especially when I'm having like a really deep run. I definitely imagine on a replay that shit would really annoy me nowadays. And I found myself in sorrow, so I'm like, I don't really care that much about this story. Like it's cool, but I don't really care that much. I just kind of want to shoot things, which
Yeah.
it's a case of every roguelike for me. I'm just not really in it for the story at all. But yeah, glad you enjoyed Returnal overall.
Yeah.
Beef, anything else you want to play, or are we ready to head out?
Just quick, because I guess this all ties in hilariously. Speaking of roguelikes, I'm back on Hades 2 because it came
Nice.
out on our consoles, and I was like, yeah, it's on Game Pass. I'll replay it. Which I didn't even have to. There was no reason, so I won't talk too much about it. 'Cause we like talked at length about it, like a Game of the Year. Uh, Only thing I want to say is like I hope. Because I remember thinking like people. I think what it was like people was like it was like the one problem when Return came out was like right after Hades and that hurt it. I'm like I hope this Hades 2 isn't gonna do the same way I played with Sorrows because it's so like
Mm,
exactly my shit and it's like it's almost unfair that like what's gonna be different about Sorrows it's like yeah like that's fine yeah be uh
I think the different
different
perspective kind of
yeah
differentiates them enough.
it's like yeah, it's like so. Hopefully, when I get to, I'm like, I'm not gonna be unfair because I'm back on the game. I'm now at like, I don't know. I probably have like 200 hours now across it. I've played it way too much.
Mhm.
But yeah, so
It's a good ass
just
game,
back.
man.
I know the one complaint we never made, I need to make. I don't like the like late achievements. There are so many, and I
They're
feel like it's taking me
aggressive.
too long. Which is funny because I remember like Hades 1. I got all the achievements, but it was like one of the worst ones was like you had to get like you get keepsakes from everyone's and there's like 30 and you can only equip like one a
Mhm.
run, but you want to get them all to like 3 stars. It took me forever, but I was kind of they don't have that in this one. Like I kind of wish they did. That was an easier fun achievement than some of these that I just feel like I'm just do running hoping I get what I need. So
Yeah.
this is the one game I want to be able to say 100% it, but I don't really
It's a
want to.
it's a tough one.
I'm like, "Ah, you bastards." Yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that
still good. I'm glad it's now on like Xbox and PlayStation. So me and my friends have been playing it again.
it's an awesome game, man.
Yeah.
Really, really special. Just top tier roguelike, one of the best in the genre. Super Giant. Cannot wait to see what they do next.
Yeah.
Whatever they do next. I wonder
I
if it's
hope
just gonna be
yeah.
DLC.
I wonder how long that's going to take cuz I'm also very curious what's going to
Probably a
be
few
next.
years.
I know it sucks so much, but
We'll see.
uh,
We
yeah.
got a lot of Hades too to play till then.
Yeah,
Like
it's
you said, you
yeah.
want to get that 100%. So we will see. We will see. But I think that's it, boys. I had a fun time. Quite a bit of yapping, but that was a ton of fun. Lots of good games lately. I was thinking
Mhm.
about this. It's just like, man, there's way too many good games lately to the point where I'm like, we can stop playing games a little bit, or like, we could just stop releasing games a little bit. I meant to say, and we'd be pretty fine for a while, I'd say. But with that, boys, if you have any last words, you can say them now because we're gonna head out. Find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever your favorite podcasts are. Like the podcast helps us out a ton, and follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky at A Slice of Gaming, all one word. With that, we're heading out. Say goodnight, boys.
Yoink.
Night.
Enjoy
Go
your
play
gaming.
Mickey's Racing Adventure.
Yes, game of the year.